Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Coming to you live from Puff Daddy, my Jeep. It's raining. I just got back from lunch and I don't want to get wet, so we are doing today's video in the Jeep. Today I'm going to talk to y'all about my journey with acne, which ultimately ended with me doing a 6-month course of Accutane. I haven't really been open about that, but I know I've gotten questions about people have seen my skin before versus now. They ask, what happened, what did I do? I am barefaced, fresh-faced, had to do a little eyebrows. If you've seen me on Instagram, you saw that I overarched my eyebrow. Like, one of them was like completely gone. So real talk, definitely had to put those eyebrows on. But other than that, y'all, barefaced, you can see my skin and how it is. Something that I don't take advantage of as often and don't recognize and appreciate as often, because a few years ago I just did not feel comfortable doing this. Like, no makeup, no nothing. So this video comes at a perfect time. Full disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I am only giving my own experience with a drug that is, yes, it helped me, but it is very dangerous and it is very potent. So just take my experience into consideration for your own, but just talk to your doctor. Everybody's going to be different. Everyone's going to have different reactions. And yeah, that is my disclaimer. We're just going to start from the beginning. I struggle with acne from the time that I started puberty. So probably like 10, 11 till like the time I graduated from college in 2015. So pretty much that whole time I had acne off and on. I tried I don't know how many different things. One thing I finally was able to pinpoint was that my acne wasn't just regular acne. It was hormonal, which means something is going on in my body that is causing me to break out. So the way I figured that out, I love reading. I love to read online and just like learn about myself and learn about things. So I was reading and I found that, certain parts in your face are going to determine what kind of acne or what's going on in your body. So if you're breaking out on your chin, you're most likely dealing with hormonal acne, and that's where you can still see I have some bumps there. Those are not going to go away, but honestly, y'all, like, I'm perfectly fine with that. They were way worse than that. But yes, I had hormonal acne, and so a lot of doctors that I had would try to treat me with topical treatments, thinking that I just had like typical teenage acne, when really it was for my hormones. So I needed something inside of my body to like fight off whatever was causing it. So years ago I started to cut down on dairy, which I never was a huge fan of, like milk and ice cream and that kind of thing. So it's pretty easy for me to do that. But I noticed when I would eat certain things that my skin, like my chin area, would break out. So it's like, okay, that's definitely connected to the hormones that are in dairy. So, I pay the extra for coconut milk and almond milk, like that, whatever, it's for my health. So if you ever are trying to figure out what's going on with you and what's going on with your acne, pay attention to what you eat. Like, maybe even keep a journal of what you're eating on a day-to-day basis and how your body feels and how you react. So I know I have a sensitivity to like gluten and dairy, which I'll still eat some bread because it's not that serious. Like the gluten intolerance, I think most people have that naturally. But so it's just a typical, whatever. But dairy is ultimately the thing that will trigger it. And if I ever want ice cream, I just risk it all. Like with Accutane, it fights off the oil glands or whatever. So whenever I do have a breakout, it goes away like within a day. Since I got off my trial of Accutane, I don't really have acne like that. Like every so often I get a little bump here or there. I don't do anything to it. I just let it be. That's the thing with acne in general. You just got to leave it alone. The more you bother it, the more you pick at it, the more it's going to get worse. So just leave it alone. But as far as Accutane goes, I tried everything: birth control, changing up my diet, different antibiotics, which they would work, but then only for a little bit, and then it would just come back. And then the last doctor I had, finally, she, which I knew Accutane was always an option, but I wanted to avoid it as much as I could because it is a dangerous drug, y'all. That is so serious. But the last doctor I had who prescribed it for me we decided that I was gonna try Spironolactone, which works for a lot of people. It's like the last step that most doctors will take before they put you on Accutane. So we tried that, didn't work, and I finally told her, like, okay, I'll do Accutane. That was after doing a lot of research, a lot of, you know, looking at certain YouTube videos, everything, just to make sure it was right for me. And yes, it scared me, but I was like, I don't know what else to do. And acne, some people, you know, are able to get by with it, but I noticed with myself, it was affecting like everything. It was affecting my self-confidence. It was affecting how I speak to people. It was affecting how I looked at myself. It was, you know, painful, like having that all over your face, and every day you wake up not knowing what kind of whatever is going to be on your face. So it was definitely worth it for me. And again, I say, don't take my experience as your own. Just do whatever's best for you. And if you are struggling with acne, that's what worked for me. So definitely talk to your doctor about it and weigh out your options of whether or not Accutane would be the best bet for you. So my doctor prescribed it. Whenever you're on Accutane, you have to take monthly tests, like to make sure you understand the risks. Like you could, if you're sexually active, you could, and get pregnant, you could have a child that has like a deformed head. Like it's that serious. So I had to do those every month. I had to do blood tests every month. I have anxiety, and I was diagnosed with anxiety probably in like 2014, 2015. So it definitely, the doctor told me it definitely could affect that, which, you know, I was prescribed medicine for my anxiety years ago, but I decided I wanted to do a more holistic approach and like do certain things that would help me feel better and be more in tune with my body, which has helped. So I'm pretty in tune with my body, so I could recognize when certain things that weren't typical of me were happening, with me feeling more anxious at times, and I recognized that it was most likely from the medicine. So that was very hard, but it's something that I was able to, you know, keep in touch with and talk to my doctor about. I had to use 2 forms of birth control. So I was abstinent, you know, didn't do anything. But if you are having sex, you have to make sure you have 2 forms. So whatever, condoms, birth control, whatever. There's all kinds of options, but you had to make sure you're on 2 different forms, and they don't even let you get the medication if you aren't like on something, 2 different forms. And then I had to, so I can't remember all the things that I had to do, y'all, but it was so long ago, and like it's beyond me now. But anyway, the first month was like brutal. I had like bumps everywhere, y'all, everywhere. And they were not just like bumps, they were painful, like the pimples. So they put me on an antibiotic before I started, and that's what that caused like everything to come out. The main side effect that I can remember from Accutane was obviously the anxiety that I mentioned, and then also like achy joints. Everything was achy. My skin was like raw, because it's basically like flaking off everything like raw. As you can see here, like on my nose is not a freckle, y'all. Like that's actually because my skin was so raw that it was actually like hurting. And here you can see around my lips, like the skin was just raw, and you can kind of see like splotchy patches of the actual color of my skin, because it's, I mean, it's serious. Like I would have nosebleeds all the time. I never have nosebleeds, but I had them all the time. I would go to bed and put like Vaseline on my face just because it was so dry and painful. Another thing was like dry lips. So like all around my mouth was raw, which it still is kind of up here. But my lips were always so dry. So I would use Aquaphor. That was a lifesaver. And they were to the point where they were like black. So it was just like crazy, but it was working. Like my skin was clearing up. You couldn't tell me anything. Like I could literally feel my confidence just rising, just because like one of my biggest insecurities was finally getting some relief. But it definitely will put you through it. There was a few times where I thought I was gonna call my doctor and just like quit, and I would talk to her about it, and she would give me the option of, if you don't notice an improvement in those symptoms or those side effects within whatever, we will stop. So you know, I definitely had my eye on the date that I was gonna stop. Like, I was so excited. I can tell you right now, it was like October 20 something. And then it got pushed back, like pushed further. So I was absolutely devastated, but it was for a good reason. And I really haven't dealt with acne since then, but I want to share that story with y'all because I know some people may deal with that, and adult acne is like, oh my gosh, if you've dealt with it as a teen going on, it just is like, okay, I'm over this right now. I'm over it. And that's pretty much what got me to that point. It wasn't an easy decision, but it was something that I'm happy I did. So yes, you guys, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. But if you are considering it, yes, you can talk to me about it, but definitely reach out to your doctor and just do your research, because it's a scary drug. Like, it actually is very scary. But like I said, it worked for me, and now my skin is, I'm gonna use that for the for the screen, whatever. Ding. But yes, now my skin is like clear, and I still have certain things, like I still kind of have achy joints a little. It can take a while for the symptoms to go away, but I definitely still have, every so often I feel like a little ache or pain from that I experienced during my trial. And yeah, you guys, that is my Accutane story. That is my journey to clear skin. And yes, thank you for watching. If you like this video, or if any of this advice helped you, just make sure you give my video a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss anything. If you follow me on Instagram, hint, hint, follow me on Instagram at Ebalicious. You can see that I said yesterday I will be posting every day this week, so I can see my posting schedule and what days work best for me. So this is day 3 going strong. So if you want to make sure you don't miss anything, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell so you know when I post. You get the notification straight to your phone, iPad, watch, whatever. All right guys, thank you for watching. I hope everyone has a great day. I will see you guys tomorrow.